Ian Collins on LBC.
Leading Britain's conversation, 0345 6060 973. We'll go back to some of your calls in just a second. Let me just bring you that tweet from Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, of course, was set to change the American political scene when he took on Hillary Clinton for the Democratic nomination. Didn't go Bernie's way. Many people felt that if it had, things would look a little different on Capitol Hill right now. Really? I don't know. Bernie Sanders says this about John Bolton's appointment. He says, John Bolton was part of the effort to mislead the United States into the disastrous Iraq war and has supported military action against North Korea and Iran. He was too extreme to be confirmed as a UN ambassador in 2005 and is absolutely the wrong person to be national security advisor. Wow. Let's speak to Robert Weiner, who's a former spokesman for for Bill Clinton and now National Democratic strategist. Robert, good evening to you, sir.
Hi, Ian. What a disgraceful night we're in. Not just John Bolton, but Karen McDougal and tonight and Stormy Daniels coming Sunday. I'm watching this Karen McDougal interview. It's just disgraceful. Dozens of times, secret trysts. She has all the details. There's no way Trump can deny this happened, even though he tried earlier. Yeah,
I mean, it's never dull in a Trump Oval Office, is it?
Well, we're not looking for a slimy traitor. That's not the kind of president America wants.
What do you say to Bernie Sanders' comments here that John Bolton was part of an effort to mislead the U.S. into Iraq and has supported military action against North Korea, and he's too extreme?
That's exactly right. There's never been a war that John Bolton hasn't wanted to push any administration into. He's a total disaster, a right-wing zealot, and a danger. And a lot of people are saying this is a distraction that Trump is now using to bring him in, because as bad as Bolton is, it's better than everybody knowing about his secret, blackmail-y sex life.
Yeah, with a porn actress. Is that just on that?
Well, a porn actress, a Playboy bunny, and and all that. So
is that story?
And by the way, and 19 others.
And yeah, well, the list does appear to go on, Robert. You're right there, sir. By the way, what's likely to happen with that current story of Bill Clinton Donald Trump's additional peccadillos? Is it likely to go anywhere, or will that be kicked into the long grass?
Well, you mentioned Clinton, and I was a Clinton staffer. Bill Clinton never asked any staff to lie, whereas Trump forces you to lie and take loyalty oaths to do it. He's a horrible person. And Britain recognized it when you had a special order of the parliament and you tried to bar him from coming over there and all of that. You guys have gotten it right before we did. So,
But many would say,
it's an awful situation. What's likely to happen?
Yeah. Do you? And we just lost Robert there. But that's, I think, point taken. He's disgusted. He's apoplectic. This was the wrong move, and it distracts from matters domestic that Mr. Trump is trying to wriggle out of when it comes to his own grubby sex life. I think that was sort of Robert's summing up, and we've got him back as well. The other point.
Let me just say, you asked where this goes. The judge
where does it
ruled
go?
Trump must supply information and will probably have to testify, just like Bill Clinton did. Trump will probably have to do it now because the judge said you're not above the law. And I hope, by the way, Ian, that he's not above the law on Russia. The number 2 Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee pointed out that it's prima facie on conspiracy. Don't call it collusion. It doesn't mean anything, but conspiracy with asking Putin to hack Hillary's emails, having an Oval Office meeting, bragging to the Russians ambassador that we stopped Comey, telling Lester Holt himself that he fired Comey because of this Russia thing, and his son Don Jr. setting up the meeting in Trump Tower for high value, and it's totally against the law to get value from a foreign country, with both Manafort, the campaign manager, and Kushner, his son-in-law, and tell me Trump didn't know about those. So this guy is dead meat from the law on all fronts, on his sex life and on his Russian traitorship.
And, of course, the White House would deny quite a lot of that. Do you think one of the problems, Robert, at the moment...
Well, they can't, because they can deny whatever they want.
They'll give it a good go.
What?
They'll give it a good go, won't they?
Well, he denies everything. But today, just today, Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham... He's got Republicans that are demanding that Mueller be allowed to continue the investigation that Trump wants to stop.
Is one of the problems at the moment in American politics, Robert Weiner, that the lack? I mean, you're clearly very passionate about this, but the lack of senior
that's
Democrats.
How I am, Ian. We've done this before.
Indeed,
I'm passionate.
And that's great. But the lack of senior Democrats on Capitol Hill right now is glaring.
What do you mean by the lack of senior Democrats on Capitol Hill?
In terms of, I mean, I appreciate that talk shows are full of Democrats condemning the president, but right now, Donald Trump appears to be on a roll and goes largely unchallenged, other than people like yourself who are happy to come on and be honest and brutal and passionate about what you believe. We're not seeing this.
I think you're missing. I just ticked off to you 4 Republicans.
I agree.
Adam
I
Schiff,
agree.
Nancy Pelosi.
But people are looking.
What are you saying? That there's tons of Democrats and look, the vote was 350. Was only 2 opposed to Russian sanctions. 2 in the House. And maybe 1 or 2 in the Senate. It was unanimous. And one of those was Rohrbacher, who's known as the Russian Republican. So that was one of the ones against the sanctions.
But do you not think, Robert, people...
The vote was unanimous for sanctions against Russia.
I get all of that, sir, but do you not think people want to hear from the next Democratic president in waiting, whoever that might be?
Well, have you asked Elizabeth Warren recently what she thinks? She'll tell you just what I'm saying.
Is she likely, do you think, to get the ticket and make it in the early 2020s to the White House?
Well, her, or did you ask Joe Biden, who just said he'd like to take Trump in the back and punch him out?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's actually offered a fight with the president.
You got that one wrong, Ian.
Well,
you're strong, and the Republicans are finally developing some backbone.
Yeah, well, I do. I'm not so sure, Robert. Listen, it's always lovely to lock horns, but I think there is a sense, and many Democrats are saying, love or hate Hillary Clinton, but it's precisely that kind of figure that they want to see now in a proper meltdown moment for the president, and they want to see him being exposed by the sort of person they'd like to see in their own White House. Others, of course, will say, well, actually, the president is fairly popular right now. He's getting things done. Is he? Really?